Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, and this is Daily Flash. Welcome everybody. So glad to have you here. Whole team is here, plus a few. Sweet baby, who you got in your arms today? What is this?
I have the lovely and beautiful Genna Alexander. My last heartbeat. Now you're gonna
she gets shy.
Look,
right.
Go look at the camera and say hi.
She's our new correspondent.
Yep.
Hi, Gigi.
She's helping me deliver the word of the day. Ready?
What's the word of the day?
Neoteric, meaning new or modern and recent.
Neoteric.
Neoteric. All
Okay.
right. All right. There we go.
I like
All right. And of course, what's a show without a Matt Doolittle? We have one of those.
You know what? I don't have any
Extra,
babies over
extra.
here yet, but you know what? I do have my baby, and it's called our website, dailyflashshow.com. You can go on there, share the show. We would love you to do that. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff on our socials. You can also send us your comments at show@dailyflashshow.com.
Thank you there. All right, Maddie?
If you had a choice to live to a certain age, is there an age range or a particular age? Would you like to live to be 80, 100, 150, 250?
I don't want to be 250. I mean, by that time, I've given up on that point. I have always said I'm going to be 90, about in my 90s when I go. You know how you have that
Yeah,
feeling?
you have a feeling.
So I feel like 90s is my
90s.
number.
Okay.
Yeah, mid-90s.
If I can hit like a functioning 80.
Functioning
I don't want to
80.
be like decrepit
Functional 80,
80.
that's
I want
the
to be
key.
like functioning 80. I'm good
not
there.
diaper at 80.
No.
but
I want functioning 80.
All right.
Because after that,
What
it
about
goes
you,
down.
Jackson?
Well, I think 80, 80, 90.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see
You got about 60 more years, so you're on you. You're good.
Bless you. So there's a biohacker that's saying, thanks to AI, there's a chance that we could program how long we live or to what age we live. He's
Okay.
saying he sees a future where AI, and I'm quoting this from the article, and big data circumvent the system, meaning your body, and people will be able to literally control their own fate, choosing how long or short they would like to live. You want to live to be 220, 250? It's going to be possible.
I don't know about 200. That seems
Could
like.
you
I think your
imagine?
body just says, "Look, I had a good run.
I just-
give up."
But humans used to only live to like what 30 or 40. That's why they got
Yes.
married when they were 12. I mean, like, and now I think the average is like around 75-ish,
Yeah.
give or take.
Could you imagine living to be 250? Like,
Nah.
I'm exhausted today.
I've seen enough. I've seen enough. I'm out.
You
Like,
would not want me to be 250 because I'd be the grumpiest man in the world because I've seen everything, as you
Yeah.
just said. It's seen everything, experienced everything, and I just want to be left alone. As we get older, it seems like that seems to be the case. Or is it just like trends where it gets to a point and you're like, I kind of want to go back and do it again, but then your body can't do it,
Right. But social interaction is extremely important for longevity. So if you do find yourself, growing older and living alone, you're likely to die sooner.
I've heard that, yeah.
Unless you've got, a social circle around you. So my question is, if you choose to be 200 or 250, who's in your social circle? Are other people going to be living to 200 and 250? Or are you going to be the 250-year-old in a room of 40-year-olds?
100%. And that you're not going to be able to relate to anybody because
Nothing.
you know more than they have ever even
Yes.
experienced in their entire. That's a very good point.
I take it to the nerd world. Look at Captain America. When he
Okay.
was unfrozen, all of his friends are dead.
Yes.
His love of his interest is in a hospital bed. Everything's horrible, and now he's stuck with all these Muppets running around blowing up stuff. Like, your life completely changes through the decades. And if you're like, I've seen that, I know how this ends. Like, it seems like history just goes in a circle because we're all going to end up back in the same place again in every 100 years. It seems
exactly.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't want to die is I want to see flying cars and I want to see all this technology that when you're that mystery of as a kid that you wanted to see. I'm waiting for that. Like, what's going to be the next thing? And I also think of people that have died, they don't know anything about AI or cars that drive themselves.
But if you think about flight in general, it's relatively new. Like, it's
True.
really just
60
within the
years
last...
from the time a plane went off to we went to the moon. That's not very long ago.
Not very long at all. And really just maybe 100 years for the most part
Yeah.
since we first took off in a plane. And so here we are. So flying cars, obviously something I think everybody wants to see. But I just wonder too, like, how much further can technology go at this point? Like, I feel like we've We're getting close to a max out point.
Well,
That's
and
why,
it's
that's why we're going to
surprising.
Mars. We'll figure out something else
Yes.
new up there.
It will be to that point of where, I remember, go back to flying cars. We still
Yeah.
don't have flying cars.
No.
When I was a kid, they said the year 2025 we'll be all flying
Supposed to be
around in cars.
2015. Where'd
Yeah.
that happen? Come on, Doc Brown. You lied to me.
Going back in time, I think that would probably be the next step of technology is like time travel.
travel.
Would be the only other thing.
So 200, 250,
Too old for me.
150,
Nah.
too old. Yeah.
I don't know how they did it in the Bible.
I always like those people that live to 100 and they're like, what was your... It's one way or the other. It's like, I clean lived, I prayed every day. Or it's,
Yeah.
I smoked 3 cigars and a bottle of whiskey and here I am. It's like,
I
there's
eat red
no
meat
real...
every day. Yeah.
Most people will tell you that it's all cognitive is what actually keeps you as an older age is doing something because just back to what you had said,
Yeah.
when you become isolated, you die faster when you're not
Yeah.
around that social element. And just to keep your brain moving is what keeps you older. Let's jump into some trending stories here as we keep our brain moving. Guys, men, they're dropping some big bucks of money on their favorite OnlyFans models. But hold on, it's not in the way that you might think.
Okay.
According to a new report, 78% of men are just looking for conversation,
Right.
and 12% are they're looking for other things. The hottest topics are things that they say they actually can't really talk about with their partners. The report breaks down the top 7 topics men pay to chat about with their OnlyFans models. Want to
Okay.
know what they are?
Yes.
Here we go. Their hometown and their upbringing, their work, what they do for a living, either to brag or to vent, hobbies, things like gaming, maybe cooking, even sports. They like to talk about pets, is what they say. Holidays, TV shows, movies, and books. And fitness rounds out the list as well. Fitness to make it appear that you're a healthy person.
Right, because you're fit while you're sitting in front of your computer with your
Exactly.
OnlyFans model.
I don't know if I buy this, though.
Aren't these conversations you should be having with your significant other?
Well, that's the point that they're saying. They're saying that sometimes, if I was with my wife, she probably wouldn't want to hear. Matter of fact, I tell her the lame, mundane things that she doesn't really care about, I guess, in my mind. And she might be interested in it, but I think this is boring to her, I know.
So you feel more free talking to a stranger about this?
I would sometimes, yeah,
Okay.
100%. I think that's why there's couples, and then you have a therapist.
And then that's Mitch and I's car rides.
Car rides are the best ever.
To me, this is the equivalent of, look, I'm looking at porn magazines, but I'm reading the articles.
articles.
There were good articles in there.
There were,
Playboy. Yeah.
yes.
couple.
There were some good articles, sure.
If that's first off, that's the excuse in case they get caught. Let's make sure that we
yes.
lay
Okay,
that
yeah.
out there. Number one, but it's also nice to make a pretty girl laugh or to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Men get confidence that way if they can grab the attention.
Okay.
And if they have the money, they're not thinking about the money. But what do we always talk about? If we talk about ourselves, I'm paying you so I can talk about myself, and it makes me feel better.
So it's a confidence builder.
I would say so.
Okay,
yeah.
I
But
can
I
see
see
that.
the dark side of that, though, is therapists are trained to kind of dump that stuff out from their clients when they leave. I don't think these OnlyFans models know how to not take that with them, like somebody else's discussions and
They're
garbage
not.
and take it into their life. They don't know how to process that, so that
No,
could
they're
lead
not.
to a trickle down problem.
I guess my question is well, what can a 40, 50, 60-year-old dude talk to a 20-year-old about?
I don't know.
Is
Ask
there
Coach
really-
Belichick.
Well, that's a
That
very
is
good
true.
point because I think as you get older, you feel like the younger generation, you're trying to grab onto your youth. You don't know how to relate to them, so
Yes.
you talk about yourself. Like, if you want to learn something, let me tell you. And as a guy, I could see how that could be attractive to them. Talking to somebody that you have their undivided attention, even though you are paying them. So keep that in mind.
yes,
This is
yes.
nothing more than prostitution.
Racking
if you think
up the
about
bill.
it.
Yeah,
right,
of course.
right.
The longer you chit-chat about yourself, the more money she makes.
Exactly.
An exclusive restaurant in Miami is sending customers into a spiral after revealing a cocktail that comes with a $33,000 price
Wow.
tag and a Birkin bag. The drink is called It's Not a Bag, It's a Cocktail. Features a cocktail made of Belvedere 10 vodka, grapefruit oil, and a side of caviar served right inside a Birkin bag. However, the ritzy drink does not have to come with the Hermes handbag. The cocktail alone costs $150, pennies compared to the $33,000 surcharge with the classy clutch. A Birkin bag is considered one of the most coveted accessories and one of the most hard to get.
Now Birkin is not the brand name. Birkin is the type
Birkin
of bag. or
is
something?
the style of bag from the company Hermes.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And a merkin is what?
A merkin is a little different. That's
Okay.
that's
I'll Google it, don't worry.
Yeah,
I only speak. Look, even if a pair of Jordans came with that, I'm not doing that thing.
$33,000?
No, that's like who's doing that?
Even
You're
if
doing
you
that for
had the money, right?
Not really.
No.
You're only doing it to
Instagram clicks.
impress, right?
Yeah.
You're only doing it to
You're
impress
doing
the
that for
people at the
Instagram
table.
clicks. You're like, I
Yeah.
can write it off.
Instagram, right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what a lot of the travel influencers do.
$500 maybe, but $33,000.
That's stupid.
It's dumb.
It's a car.
Yeah.
And you're going to be that idiot that when they walk by, this is all you're going to get from it.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody actually did
Yeah,
that.
look at
And then you're going to spill the drink on the bag, and then
It's done.
done.
All right.
Yes.
We have more Flash waiting for you. We're going to be doing some screen chatter. We'll check in with Matt. He's got some other things going on today as well.
Yeah, check out our website, dailyflashshow.com. You miss a minute, you miss a lot on this show. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this. Hey, Mitchie.
Hey, Jackson!
Yeah, I want to talk about that big story coming out of
Hold
Hollywood.
on, wait. I want to get Matt in on this call, all right? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Mitch and Dias?
Matty!
Mitchie.
Mateus.
Mitch, my man.
Matty of Berkshire.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ wants us to talk about a big story that's happening.
This kid, the Kiki, says hi. He has his own Instagram.
That's great, Matt, but I really want to talk about this big story coming out of Hollywood.
Ooh, dog and cat! It's
You should check it out. This kid, the Kiki.
I want to know what's going on.
What?
Oh, okay, so real quick. Why does he still have a dial-up modem?
Hey, I gotta get back to wrestling stuff.
It's on the media.
You know what? Maybe we should just try this later.
Okay, all right. Peace and love.
Daily Flash.
Where are you?
It's just better when you're part of the conversation. Join us online.
All right, it is time to check in with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, here's Tony.
Thanks, Mitch. Streaming on Apple TV Plus is the comedy sports series Stick. It stars Owen Wilson.
Hey, you're that golfer, aren't you? Bryce Cahill. Used to call you Stick, right?
Yep, that's me.
This guy was a big pro golfer on television, everything. 12th hole, big tourney. Sawgrass, I think, maybe like 2009. Shanks one into the lake and just melts down. Full psychotic break on live TV. It was insane. Threw his clubs in the water. I bet you can't even look at a club after a train wreck like that, right?
In the series, an over-the-hill ex-golfer who's divorced and recently fired from his job sees hope in coaching a troubled teen prodigy, staking his future on the young man's success. Along with Owen Wilson, the series stars comedian Mark Maron, Peter Dager, and Lily Kay.
I feel that my guy, I think I've done cranky-ish people before, but I think that the heart-heavy element of it was new.
Something beautiful about this show is there's a lot of serious moments, but you always know everything's gonna sort of be okay. And so I kind of felt like that in the process of finding Santi. It was, I really wanted to get deep and find it and feel it. I just wanted to get to the place where I was like, I'm good. I know where I am. I know where he is in here. And I just wanted it all to feel very accessible and then feel confident in what felt accessible.
There's no wrong time in your life to sort of step into yourself and find your way. I think everyone in this show is at a different place in their life and they grow so much and really come into who they are, all in very different ways. And there's no point at which you cannot do that. That's something we always have the power to do. We always have the power to grow. So I hope that people take that.
Stick is a likable comedy series that needs more time to find its perfect swing. The series is trying too hard to make its audience laugh, and the result is far less than a hole-in-one. Again, the new series is streaming on Apple TV Plus and gets a B. It's not rated. Streaming on Sci-Fi and Peacock is Season 4 of the hit sci-fi comedy series Resident Alien. It stars Alan Tudyk.
It looked like the head was bitten clean off. What type of animal can bite a head off with one bite?
What if it was an alien?
Obviously, aliens are not real.
Exactly.
The one thing about this show that is different from other sci-fi projects I've been on, it seems to be one that families like to watch together, that people who are different ages, and it can be like somebody who's 13, somebody who's close to Judah's age, Max, to their parents, but also people who are my age and their parents who are in their 70s, and that that's a time where they can come together. And I hear it again and again and again, and it is the most beautiful thing. It makes you remember why you do this.
After 4 seasons, Resident Alien is still a brilliantly written and acted comedy series asking some unsettling questions about humanity and the human condition. Again, you can check out all the seasons of Resident Alien streaming on Sci-Fi and Peacock. It gets an A and is rated TV-14. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
The world's most famous and articulate amphibian had an inspiring message for University of Maryland's graduating class of 2025. Kermit was tapped for the job in honor of his late Muppets creator, Jim Henson, who is an alumnus of the college. Kermit delivered a heartwarming message to the grads about the importance of friendship and staying true to yourself. The university's president awarded Kermit a certificate of appreciation for his outstanding services to the state of Maryland.
I am asked who is your favorite interview of all time, and I got to interview Kermit
You
the Frog.
did.
And first off, grew up with Kermit because he was on Sesame Street. But what was crazy about it is that, in my mind, I remember having to stop myself. I was like doing this with the microphone and everything. And the guy that does the voice, the guy is hilarious. Who has an incredible story about how he became the voice of Kermit, because he was just this kid that really, really admired Jim Henson and wound up becoming a replacement for him. But it was such a surreal moment. And like, how many people get to say they got to interview Kermit? And I remember watching it as a kid, and they would have little kids on the show talking to Kermit as well. And it brought me back to that time, because you forget about. He was a Muppet, but yet here he is giving a commencement speech, and hopefully everybody had tuned in for that.
What I find so amazing about some of these puppeteers is how quick they are. When it comes to, they are so phenomenal when it comes to interaction and funniness and comedic timing. It's just genius.
And the muscle memory they have to have, because their joke has to go along with what the puppet is actually doing on stage. So kudos to them, and congratulations, Kermit. Our favorite amphibian, right?
Coolest thing to see at the Smithsonian is the original Kermit the Frog.
Really cool. We have more animals coming up in Furry Friends around the corner.
Right now, Love Missions is working to purchase a 10-acre property right here in Central Florida. It's a place that's more than land. It's a lifeline for survivors of human trafficking.
It'll be a stable home, a space for healing, job training, and a fresh start toward real freedom. But they've got a tight deadline to raise $360,000.
And you can help make it all happen and be part of a survivor's legacy. Visit lovemissions.net or scan the QR code you see right there on your screen.
Every single gift brings lasting hope to someone who truly needs it.
Hey, well, welcome to this week's Furry Friends. I am Matthew Doolittle. So, think your cat just ignores you for the fun of it? Well, they do, but at least they know who you actually are. A recent study found that felines will sniff unfamiliar scents longer than those of their owners. Researchers say it can show how they can distinguish between the two. While it's unclear if they know you specifically, your cat definitely knows when someone familiar walks through the door and when a, Amazon guy is just outside. And well, mine knows me because I just smell like theme parks and tacos all the time.
Is that what it is? I don't know about that.
That's how he gets me.
Okay.
And while pets in Florida, well, you have some additional protection now. Governor Ron DeSantis recently signed 2 new bills into law that protect pets: Dexter's Law and Trooper's Law. He joined the staff at Big Dog Ranch Rescue in Palm Beach County to make it an official. So Dexter's Law increases penalties for aggravated animal cruelty, while Trooper's Law makes it a felony to abandon or restrain pets during natural disasters. So these came about because a dog named Trooper was left tied to the side of I-75 during Hurricane Milton. Trooper was rescued and is living with his new life with his new family, which happened to be one of the troopers that rescued him. As for Dexter's Law, it was created after a puppy died just 4 days at the hands of its new, I won't even say owner, person. So these are great stories out there that I'm glad that they're implementing these, because it's horrible to see these types of things out there.
Yeah, knowing that maybe people will think twice before doing something stupid with a pet, much like putting that gorgeous dog on a fence
Tying him
post,
to a fence
it.
post during a hurricane.
It's just
Yeah.
horrible. Yeah.
I will say Florida has really become like a very pet haven. You know, we're very pro-pet, very
Sure,
pet
yeah.
friendly. I mean, I think it's important. And then, of course, when the summertime rolls around, it's a constant reminder of not to leave pets or kids in a hot car. during the summer
people
months.
still do it.
And they
Absolutely, and we
still
have a
do
lot
it.
of pet rescues here that will go to other countries when there's natural
Yeah.
disasters or other parts of the country and bring them here and try to distribute them in Florida just because of the weather, because it's more consistent than the rest of the country. But yeah, Florida is really kind of leading the charge in making sure the pets are safe out there.
And that's where I've gotten a couple of my dogs, Big Dog Ranch Rescue. They have a great adoption program
Yeah,
there.
good dogs too.
Mhm.
All right, let's jump into some trending stories around the country. An enterprising woman devised a unique way to retire on the cheap by transforming her European smart car into a house on wheels. She did it. Kay gave Cribs, basically a Cribs-style tour to her tiny digs. Look inside this. For the last 14 months, she's actually been living in her 2006 smart car. By the way, Mercedes-Benz makes those smart cars. She says that she has a good reason for an unusual arrangement. She wanted to retire at 65, realized she couldn't do it, so she decided she'd have to wait until 70 to have the max for her Social Security benefits. So according to autoinsurance.com, it is legal to live in your car in most of us United States. However, you have to follow all local laws and make sure that you park in designated areas. If you're wanting to know about that smart car, the inside of it, if you see a Mercedes C-Class, it's the front is identical to a Mercedes
really?
C-Class. There's anything different other than the logo of it saying smart car or whatever, which I don't know what that says for Mercedes-Benz because of a smart car, that's all it is. Still, that's really small.
She's got a storage crate in her front seat. Like, is she sitting on that? Because that looks terribly uncomfortable.
That makes her, yes. How
short is she? How short is she? That's what I want to know because my uncle had one and I could not fit in it. I'm 6'2".
We did this one time on our other show, Daily Buzz. We had Andy Campbell, who I believe was 6'3".
He's a little taller than me, yeah.
So he was at 6'3", and he laid down next to a smart car, and he was about the same distance. I think he had to put his hands just a little bit more. So that gives you an idea of how small that car is.
I don't know about living in this car.
No.
Like, I feel like you're so, I don't know, susceptible to God only knows what when you're out there overnight.
There's a
In
bunch of
an RV,
YouTubers.
I get it, but
There's a bunch of YouTubers that do this now, where they like make it their video, but they stop at like pilot rest stops and everything like that, where they have showers and everything like that, so it's lit, and they know the safety ways to do it. But yeah, it's definitely not the smartest thing to do.
Here's the thing:
if you don't have to,
she has to travel around with all that stuff in it because she doesn't have a trailer or anything to it. So keep that in mind.
and I'm sure gas is cheap because it's a little smart
smart
car,
car,
not a problem. But I just can't. I would think like at some point you would get tired of that whole experience.
The nomadic life is what they say,
Yeah.
especially that side. I would throw a little small tiny trailer to keep the clothes and everything in the back.
Yes.
But if it saves you money, it kind of shows you what people will do. I mean, at least she's thinking about her future. I'll give her that.
An ordinary spring day turned extraordinary when a man with a metal detector unearthed an ancient treasure. The nature lover said he found a bag of money in a field right near a small village in southern Romania. His metal detector began beeping louder and louder, and soon he was looking at a more than 1,400 bag worth of Roman coins. Experts say the treasure dates back to the 2nd century AD and the Roman Empire. What a find.
No kidding.
And he thinks about the Roman Empire every day.
More Flash after this.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, today's trends, tomorrow's talk. We also have Matt Doolittle with us. Hey, Matty.
Hello, everybody, and everybody out there that watches us. We love you so
do.
much. You are all around the country, 219 of our affiliates across the world. Our streamers watching us on YouTube, make sure you share us. The Armed Forces Network, we love you all. And if you want to check us out, head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. You can click on the Where to Watch tab. Today, we are going up to our friends in Norfolk, Virginia at WVBT.
There you go. Norfolk, I was just in Norfolk a month ago.
That's a beautiful city.
Andrea,
Really
you and I
cool.
did a trip there once for interviews and such, and they have T-shirts walking around there of how to properly say the city, isn't it? Is it Norfolk?
Norfolk.
It's how you want to say it.
Yeah, it's great seafood and everything up there.
Phonetically, don't write it.
Yeah.
Because that's how you
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great history and glass blowing.
Yeah.
They're known for
No, I
glass
didn't know
blowing.
that was
which is
amazing.
kinda cool.
I love
Yeah.
the bridge they have there. It goes underwater. It's a bridge, and it goes right underneath. And it's the
yes.
coolest thing to see from the sky because
Yes.
you see a bridge and you see it go into the water and come out the other side. Really, really cool.
And that's the way into Maryland, isn't it?
You can go up there that way,
yeah.
but it's through Virginia and that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
really cool there, so that the big ships can get through.
Just don't get a speeding ticket in Virginia.
I didn't. That's why you're not allowed to use a radar detector in Virginia. I
Oh,
know that.
really?
Yeah. I know that.
Super speeder.
Are you Googling that?
No, I just happen to know that. Honest to God. Okay, we go to Australia. We know that everything in Australia is designed to kill you.
Yes,
by all
bite
means.
you or kill you.
So this couple had this cute little wiener dog,
Dotson.
Dotson, and they went on a camping trip to Kangaroo Island. There's a real place in Australia called Kangaroo Island.
Well,
they went, and the little dog named Valerie took off and left.
Valerie? I love it.
So they looked everywhere for it. They had search parties for it. They couldn't find it. Well, as I said, when you're in the outback of Australia, it's not a good.
Yeah.
way.
And there's no rules. It's just right.
Yeah.
No rules, especially when you look like a hot dog with legs.
It's a
running around.
Scooby snack for a larger predator.
So they go, look, we've lost Valerie, so we have to leave. They go back home. Before they left, they went to this rescue place and say, hey, look, if you happen to run across little Valerie, the wiener dog, here's our number, right? This happened in November 2023. 17 months later, they get a phone call and they said, hey, we think we found Valerie because we're on an island and this is the only wiener dog here. It was alive and well, malnourished a little bit. And luckily, the people at the rescue place happened to keep this piece of paper with their phone number on it.
Gosh.
They got her back. She's looking good. They did over 1,000 hours of volunteer work just trying to find her. So they finally just came across. The community all went together. And the little dog, Valerie, the wiener dog, is now home with the couple.
Did they say what they think she survived off of?
They don't. Well, no. I guess
know,
other than just living out. You know, these are and wiener dogs. You don't think of as like hunters and that sort of thing. But it could have done that. A bunch of wolves or kangaroos could have brought them in. I've seen many Disney movies. Yes. Probably. Who knows? They didn't have a camera on it, but I find it a great story, especially 529 days out in the wilderness.
529 days in the Australian wilderness.
A little wiener dog.
I'd last 10 days and get eaten by a
No
kangaroo.
I'd last about 2 hours.
Yeah.
At most. Speaking of kangaroos, did you see that story about the kangaroo bouncing around in Durango, Colorado?
No.
First off, it was sighted with a diaper on it, and then 10 months later, they see it jumping around a neighborhood, but grown without the diaper. So this baby kangaroo, like within 10 months, like basically took a tour all around town through the mountains, and the winters in Durango are no joke.
Right. You know,
So how did that kangaroo survive a winter in Durango, Colorado?
I think it's just they have that survival. If you think about it, they're born survivalists, right?
Yes, and then they show the police officers trying to wrangle this kangaroo, and I'm thinking, that kangaroo's gonna haul off and box him and like slug him in the
Kangaroo's
face.
seen some stuff now.
Yes!
Now that's a wild kangaroo.
I've seen kangaroos are ripped, man.
Aren't they?
Like, if you
The
ever
guy
see
that
them stand
punched
up,
the one?
Those
they were
boxing
fighting-
videos?
Their upper body strength, and plus they could sit on the back of their tail. They can stand up and they can hit. I mean, they're
Wouldn't it be
fighters.
great if the wiener dog could stand on its back legs now, like start kicking? Like that'd be great. That's a good YouTube video right there.
Yeah, that could be. You never
All
know.
right, more Flash coming up. We're going to do some Life Love shopping around the corner with this gal. We're going to have some fun. Y'all, don't hop around. There's no need to. Stay right here. We'll take care of you on Daily Flash.
If you live it, love it, or buy it, we talk about it on Life Love Shopping. We're going to start with this morning, something that thrills the senses and speaks to our desire for a luxurious getaway. I was invited to spend a day at the Conrad at Evermore Resort for a sampling of everything this unique getaway has to offer. Here's a look at the Conrad at Evermore. Welcome to Conrad Orlando at Evermore, the ultimate Central Florida getaway that combines style with flavor, tranquility, and fun. The design takes its inspiration from the curves of the classic Chris Craft boat, a staple at the boathouse which overlooks the hotel across a giant blue lagoon. Our first stop inside the hotel, Sophia's Trattoria, which celebrates all things Italian, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We started with the base scallop crudo.
Has a lemon puree as well as some really nice Italian olive oil. Chives are tossed in with it, and you have the little baby prawns, the fennel on top, and some salmon wrap. Okay, kind of pops. It's really nice, bright and fresh and fresh. All right. Here is our arancini. It's saffron risotto with a chunk of fontina cheese in the center. It's rolled in breadcrumbs. We fry it. On top, you have smoked prosciutto, some chives. Underneath, you have a classic marinade sauce.
Next up, a stop at Apero. It's the hotel bar with a refreshing twist on craft cocktails, including the Amalfi Coast.
We had the Amalfi Coast. That is what Renee will be creating for you and have you taste today.
Bartender Renee is considered one of the best mixologists this side of Positano. Outside, the pool serves up fresh juices and appetizers. S'mores can be roasted fireside with a view, and sandcastles behold a lagoon that goes on for days. It holds 17 million gallons of water. If R&R is what you're seeking, the Conrad Spa offers one-of-a-kind wellness rooms, a lush water garden, and guided sound meditations. Looking to satisfy a sweet tooth? The Little Spoon serves up beautiful pastries and gelati along with some perfect gift ideas. And how about dinner with a view? Ceiba is Conrad Orlando's signature dining experience, featuring elegant Mexican cuisine and adventurous craft cocktails. Soaking up the rooftop view while sipping on an agave-forward beverage is a delicious experience.
It is the traditional Mayan Aztec tree that actually blends the living and the dead together. So we do a lot of things that honors that homage to that culture. Our cocktail menu is based off of the roots, the trees, and a little bit herbaceous, so you get a little bit of each part of that tree in there.
One drink even comes with its own kind of fire. The hotel shares resort space with Evermore's Vacation Villas, Flats, and Homes, alongside a championship golf course designed by Jack Nicklaus. From beachside lounging to enjoying the beautiful Blue Lagoon waters, here's to the perfect summer getaway, any day of the year, sure to satisfy all your senses from sunup to sundown. The Conrad at Evermore. If you get a chance, check it out. We talk about Costco now. Retail giant Costco is rolling out a buy now, pay later program for its members. Costco is kicking off a new partnership with the financial group Affirm. Customers in the U.S. can pay for large online purchases with a new buy now, pay later option at checkout. Approved members will now be able to pay over time for purchases they make online only though. The minimum purchase to qualify is $500 and the maximum is $17,500. The APR rates range from 10 to 36% and loans range from 3 to 36 months. Quickly, we'll mention Target. They're done with self-checkout and said they plan to expand the number of available checkout lanes with cashiers. A Reddit user shared this photo of the Target store and showed where the self-checkouts used to be located. The retail giant is removing self-checkout stations from stores as thieves continue to abuse the process. Still more to come. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Listen, we've all heard of mother's intuition, but since, we already passed through Father's Day, is there a father's intuition? Is that really a thing? Well, our next guest, psychic therapist and author Vincent Genna, joins us now with some thoughts on the father-child bond. Vincent, welcome back to the Daily Flash. We appreciate you having here. Let's get right to it. As I mentioned, that father's intuition, is it real? And how come we don't hear about that more often?
Oh, Mitch, they've been studying mother's intuition and connection with the children for years.
Yeah.
First, figured it was biological because the mother carried the child, that this mother was already in tune with the child, whether it's young or whether this child grows up to an adult. The mothers were always knowing where there was something wrong. So they figured it was biological. Then all of a sudden, the adoptive mother stepped in and they were doing research with that and found that the mothers of adopted children also had the same kind of intuition.
Oh, wow.
So this led us to expand the understanding about intuition. Everybody is born with it. It's an innate part of who we are right from the get-go. So everyone has it, including fathers. But here was the thing. Where were the fathers when the mothers were having these children.
Okay.
The fathers were out of the home. They were out working. They weren't there by the child or anything. They were distracted. They're getting the information. They're getting an intuitive hit, but most of the time, as men do anyway, talk themselves out of that intuitive hit, or they weren't that concerned about it because they knew mom was home, mom would be able to take care of everything. So even if they heard, hey, Johnny's in trouble at school, just briefly, they would go, okay, well, my wife is home. She'll be able to take care of that. I got to finish work over here. But that didn't mean that they didn't have the intuition. Now, Mitch, here's the greatest part. Since then and in modern times, male same gender relationships and partnerships that have adopted children.
Okay.
Now you've got 2 men, no female in there. And guess what they found? They found that the men have the exact same intuition, because not only are they tuned into the child because they're raising the child, they are the most responsible ones for the child now, but they've learned to listen and connect in that way very intuitively.
Okay.
They're attentive to that inner voice that occurs, Mitch. So yes, dads do have that intuition.
Okay, I got to throw this out there. I have to throw this out. How is intuition different? And I'm not doubting you, by the way, when I say it like this, but it sounds like I am. How is that intuition not based on experience? Because first off, I know now, having a 13-year-old that I'm help raising, is that I go off things that I did as a 14-year-old boy. Do you know what I'm saying? And also, I know that I could pull at the heartstrings of mom to kind of manipulate, if you will, that sort of thing. Is that part of the intuition, or is it misplaced?
No, actually, that's a great point. But that's like when you get to know each other. When people are together for a long period of time, they get to know what the other one is thinking, what's going to say.
Yeah.
Is that intuition? No, that part is not intuition, but that is very legitimate. They're going to know what they can predict what the child is going to do based on evidence of what that child did in the past. But that's different than when you're there and when mom is there or dad is there at home, and all of a sudden they get this feeling, I don't know, I've got to call our son, I don't know what's going on. I just want to call him. I was just thinking about him. Something's going on. And then they make that phone call and find out that he's been in trouble. He's been laid off at work. He was in an accident, whatever. It's that inner voice, which is different than that predictive voice.
Okay.
So yes, we do know information about our children. Matter of fact, it's not just our children, it's our partners. I've been together with my wife for 52 years. I can almost tell you what she's going to do the next day before she even does it herself, based on my experience with her. But there are intuitive things that wind up coming up that's completely different. Like we wind up dressing the same or wearing the same colors. Why? It's like something said, I want to wear blue today. And all of a sudden I find out that my wife says the same thing internally. I want to wear blue today. And now we're a match. We're a match couple, and we get to go to the celebration and everybody thinks we're a cute old couple. You know what I mean? We dress alike. We're together all the time, right? But that happens, that inner voice.
Yeah.
The problem, Mitch, is that most men don't listen to that internal voice. They talk themselves out of it, or they say, oh, that's silly, he's okay. That's where the problem is. Whereas a mom, she will always respond to that inner voice because she's like so attentive to that child. Now, that attention was because she connected and attached with that child more than the father did. She breastfed. More mothers are around and taking care of children still than men are.
You have to do that. Vincent, it goes to show you how important being a parent is, and being a father as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. For more information, just go to vincentgenna.com. Love that guy.
All right, Mitch, thank you. Well, June means 2 things. It is summer travel season, and it's also Pride Month. Tommy DiDario is here to share a great project with Travel Guard. Tommy.
Greetings from Chitano, New York City at the South Street Seaport. As we celebrate Pride this month, we also celebrate Proud Travel. And I am so happy to partner up with Travel Guard, which is not only a top provider of travel insurance, but also a great travel safety advocate. So this month, they've launched an expanded online educational platform at travelguard.com to provide guidance to members of the LGBTQ community and raise awareness of potential risks that they may face while traveling internationally. The platform, it contains a wide range of travel safety tips, a regional breakdown of potential travel risks, an FAQ, links to reputable external resources, and so much more. So for any kind of traveler going on any kind of trip, travel mishaps, they can sometimes happen. So you'll want to protect your investment. Insurance plans from Travel Guard, they can be customized to include coverage for numerous scenarios. So at a minimum, their base plans include some form of coverage for trip cancellation or interruption, delays, baggage delays or loss, and medical expense and evacuation. For our LGBTQ travelers, they also have a great optional upgrade called Name Your Family, which allows a non-relative to be deemed as a family member for the purpose of family-related unforeseen event coverage. So that means in addition to an unlimited number of traditional relatives, like spouses, parents, children, the person with this add-on coverage can name an unrelated family member whose illness or injury might trigger a trip cancellation. So visit travelguard.com for more information today.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. When a rare artifact falls into the black market of a small South Dakota town, the lives of locals and outsiders become intertwined. This is today's must-watch movie, Americana.
What would you do if you had $1 million?
I'd go to Nashville, sing professionally.
I didn't know you were a singer. You sing country music?
What kind of music is there?
Oh.
I got a really dumb idea I'd like to run by you. I think something bad's going down.
Have a look at the newest addition to my humble little collection, a Lakota Indian ghost shirt. Hello? A ghost shirt?
Why do you want it?
I would prefer it to be in the hands of someone such as myself who could actually appreciate it. If someone were to make an effort to liberate that garment, I would pay.
$500,000, really.
That's what the man said. Okay, fair enough.
I got like $1 million artifact in the trunk of my car.
Listen to me. I just smashed that son of a bitch's head in. I'm gonna get us out of here. My home is here, in the Great Spirit. What am I supposed to say to that?
Have you seen an old Indian show?
The white woman has it.
What white woman? Your mom? Your sister? Who?
I am the reincarnation of Sitting Bull.
Come on, kid. This ain't exactly the golden age of cultural appropriation right now.
I remember more horses in my day. What do you want?
The ghost shirt. It's ours.
I don't think we should do this.
That thing is worth a lot of money.
All I want is the artifact.
What's up? Right now, I'm apparently in the middle of a goddamn murder spree.
The world is so full of bad things. It's frightening. Especially if you're alone.
The waitress is here?
Goddamn right I am.
Are you any good?
At singing? I'm a hidden gem.
Looks good.
Yep. We always like something good to watch on our TV sets
We
and
love
our
it.
movies. Yes.
We hope that this little thing we did is something you love to watch.
Yes, from all of us, thank you for spending time with us. Make sure to check out our website, dailyflashshow.com.
Y'all take care. We'll see when we look at you. Bye-bye.